evening. This is Primetime News on AYV Television and Radio. I am Phoebe Swiel. We'll begin with tonight's headlines. All right, we apologize for that. In the bulletin tonight, President Madabio awards Best Teacher on World Teachers' Day. Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center hosts Regional Peacekeeping Building workshop in Freetown, and former President Dr. Anis Baiko Omar receives Leadership Award from African Bar Association. Now, the National Electoral Commission has finished tallying of the Koinadugu District Local Council by-elections held on 2nd October 2021. The summary of the statement of the results are as follows. Local Council Chairperson by-election, Kagbo Lawrence Tete of the All People's Congress Party has a total of 20,435 votes, while Koroma Alhaji Sheku of the Sierra Leone People's Party has a total of 13,061 votes. Number of invalid votes is 2,537. For local council by-election in Ward 155, Koroma Sayo Mamudu of the All People's Congress Party has a total of 1,136 votes, while Thogonka Kali of the Sierra Leone People's Party has a total of 1,143 votes. These results are awaiting ratification and final declaration by the Chief Electoral Commissioner and National Returning Officer of NEC. Still in the news tonight, President Julius Maada Bio has stated that World Teachers' Day is set aside to celebrate, honor, and thank every teacher for all they do. He was speaking during the maiden Presidential National Best Teacher Award event organized by the Teaching Service Commission and the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. Memunatu Bangura reports.
This is the first Presidential National Best Teachers Award organized by the Teaching Service Commission in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, the Sierra Leone Teachers Union, and other partners in the teaching profession. This award is to appreciate and recognize the relentless efforts of teachers in the country. President Julius Maada Bio noted that it is important to appreciate teachers for their good work in promoting education.
So on this day set aside as World Teachers' Day, it is all appropriate to celebrate, to honor, and to thank every teacher for all they have done. Through war and through pestilence, teachers have been at the very heart of our nation's resilience and recovery. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, which we are still going through, they kept schools open, imparted knowledge with characteristic selflessness, patiently prepared students for transitional exams, and continue to mold and open minds as they do always. So today is about honoring those who have been mocked, ridiculed, and underappreciated for choosing a profession that does not bestow instant. You have some bad students who mock their teachers, not so. Do they do it still? And we are the culprit too. I used to do. So we are here to really honor you, to celebrate you, and to let you know you are a great people.
Founder and Chief Executive Officer of Teach for Sierra Leone and the Sierra Leone Teacher Prize, Josephine Saidu, gives overview of the award.
As has been alluded to by many before me, teachers are a great people. Teachers are one of the most important people in our lives. So long we forget, when we reach the pinnacle of our careers, we forgot how we got there. In that regard, I crave your indulgence to all stand up and give the teachers, young, old, experienced, inexperienced, not to put your hands together, but to clap.
Memunat Bangura, AYV News, Freetown.
The Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Madam Mamadi Gobe Kamara, has stated that the government of Sierra Leone has sustained efforts to empower, protect and promote the rights of women and children against exploitation and discrimination, adding that the government of Sierra Leone has developed structures and enacted procedures to address violence against vulnerable sectors of society. Ransford Lubimetska reports.
In her statement at the third Committee General debate at the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mamadi Gobe Kamara, noted that as part of Sierra Leone's contribution to global conversation on the implementation of the SDGs and in the attainment of gender equality and the empowerment of women, government has embarked on a global campaign for access to justice and to seek remedies for survivors of sexual violence, pointing out that the Hands Off Our Girls campaign by the First Lady as a factor that has influenced policy dialogue and support for women and girls' access to reproductive health care services and treatments for conditions such as fistula, cancer, as well as addressing issues such as forced childhood marriage, teenage pregnancy, rape, and other forms of gender-based violence.
We have continued to do more to improve the human capital, support the most vulnerable of our citizens, build strong institutions, create more inclusive democratic spaces, build infrastructure, and ensure peace, security, and stability in the country and the sub-region, especially in the Mano River Union Basin. We remain fully committed to delivering on the visionary agenda adopted in Beijing some 26 years ago and all relevant normative frameworks because we believe women and girls are entitled to live in dignity and freedom. Domestic efforts deployed in recent times are indicative of our resolve to empower our women and protect them from all forms of violence and abuse. A Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Bill has recently been approved by Cabinet, awaiting debate and enactment by Parliament. Once enacted, the bill will change the dynamics for women and increase opportunities across the country. The bill primarily provides for minimum 30% representation for women in politics and senior management positions, access to finance, gender mainstreaming, and budgeting. Our fight to end all forms of violence against women continues unabated. President Bio declared rape and sexual violence a national emergency, and we amended the Sexual Offences Act of 2012 to increase punishment for perpetrators to minimum 15 years imprisonment and life jail term for all forms of sexual penetration, including minors. We have established one-stop centers to better serve survivors of SGBV, and the Sexual Offences Model Court was established in Freetown to address rape cases in a timely manner. Our national effort to that end is anchored on the principle of no one left behind. As part of our commitments and actions to ensure children with disabilities are not excluded from school enrollment, we are providing schools with disability-friendly facilities and making teachers more aware of their needs in inclusive classrooms.
She ended that in an effort to empower, protect, and promote the rights of women and children against exploitation and discrimination, the government has also developed structures and enacted laws to address violence against vulnerable sectors of society. Ransford Lubimetska, AYV News in Freetown.
Now, former President Dr. Anis Bai Koroma has been honored with the award of the African Bar Medal of Merit in Leadership by the African Bar Association, AFBA, at the ongoing 2021 annual conference in Niamey, Republic of Niger. Joseph Johnson reports.
The award was received by former president alongside 3 other former colleagues during the opening ceremony of the conference on Monday, 4th October 2021. The awardees included former presidents of Nigeria, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, former presidents of Niger, and former presidents of Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Africa Bar Association President Barrister Hannibal Uwafor, who presented the award, described the awardees as Africa's good governance ambassadors and thanked Koroma for his efforts in promoting peace and democracy in Africa. Speaking shortly after receiving the highly acclaimed award, former President Koroma thanked Africa Bar Association for the memorable recognition of his humble contribution to Africa's aspiration of deepening democracy through peaceful transition. Indeed, we must never allow ignominious days of military incursions into politics to re-emerge. We must work even harder to achieve the wider objective of a peaceful, prosperous, and democratic Africa, said President Nkrumah. Dr. Nkrumah dedicated the honor to the great people of Sierra Leone. You accorded me the privilege to serve for 2 consecutive terms, and it is the remarkable support you provided to my government in deepening democracy, consolidating peace, rebuilding our country's economy, infrastructure, social services, upholding the constitutional term limit, and ensuring a peaceful transition of power that made this happen. Thank you, Sierra Leone, he said. On the sidelines of the conference, the former president had discussions with the ex-president of Niger, Joseph Johnson. AYV News, Freetown.
The Minister of Youth Affairs, Mohamed Oman Bangura, has officially launched application form which will see over 140 young people apply for UNDP grant. Now the grant, which is costed at $140,000, will target young men and women whose businesses have been interrupted by coronavirus in the country. This process is being implemented by the Institute for Development of Humanitarian. Ransford Lubimetska has more.
This grant project is funded by the United Nations Development Programme in supporting women and young people whose businesses have been affected by COVID-19, and it will target businesses especially for people living around the Western Area Rural. Simon Olagai is the Program Director for the Institute for Development of Humanitarian Assistance. He takes us through the project.
We have a project which is funded by UNDP and partnering with the government, which is the Ministry of Youth. The project is supporting women and the youth whose businesses were affected by COVID. It is a stimulus package, and it is an initiative from the government through the Ministry of Youth and is funded by UNDP. Basically, we are targeting to support 140, that is the minimum target we are targeting, and then the criteria is number 1, you should first own the business. Secondly, your business should be affected by COVID, and then thirdly, there will be a verification and all of that. So today we are launching the application for people to come and apply.
Minister of Youth Affairs during the launch noted that his ministry will be monitoring the process and called on all young people to come on board and collect their application forms, as the process will be thoroughly checked so as to ascertain that each and every person who wins from the application vetting must and should be a business owner, especially a young person, as it is the priority of the President to capacitate and empower young people.
Today we are here to formally launch the form. We ask young people, young people across the country to apply. The 184 young people that have been selected by the Restless Service, we're still vetting. Today you see the press release, I'll be releasing their names, location, and business they are doing, so that the public will verify that when we receive funding from government, we receive funding from donor partners to empower young people in business, it should be for young people in business. When we're saying we want to empower young people in agriculture, it should be for them. You think car wash, it should be for them. So we don't compromise those things, because at the end of the day, we want to make the most efficient use of state resources and that of our partners. And trust and confidence, it's really key when we're dealing with donor partners. So today we have the forms. Hopefully tomorrow it will be out, or next tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, these forms will be out. And the venue we have here at the Ministry of Youth Affairs and the IDHA office, which
35.
Okay, at 35 Ledger Lane, Tembe Town. You can access the form. We are looking for at least 140 beneficiaries, but there is heavy tendency we'll have 200 or 300. It's a grant, and it's not free money. It's money that the government of Sierra Leone, His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, has asked that we should give young people that are in business for them to be able to reach out their potential.
Ransford Lubimetska, AYV News in Freetown.
The Minister of Information and Communications, Mohammed Rahman Swari, has stated that the employment of 5,000 new teachers and over 3,000 healthcare workers are among the reasons for huge government spending. The minister was justifying an accusation by chairman of NGC party on the AYV on Sunday program that there are evidences of high expenditure by the present administration. Salifucheno Kamara reports.
Huge financial spending is something the current government massively criticized the former Nkrumah-led administration for. Now, the same problem is being referenced as highly evident in the Biu-led regime. However, the Information and Communications Minister stated that 22% of the country's budget is spent on education, adding that a lot of finance goes into the health sector, including other areas literally neglected in the past.
This government has brought onto the payroll 5,000 new teachers, over 3,000 healthcare workers, because we work in the far-flung villages, in the communities. Yeah, let teacher then for teach Pekin. Law begin for be fair and honest with people then. When they talk about travel, you remember what president they go GP in London? Now opposition media, oh, the president don't go attend a virtual conference. We for be proud for a minute say, the president will be one of them few people there, few African leaders that want to invite let it go in person. Because they are very interesting and beautiful stories where they come on as Salu for let go share with the rest of the world. It go there, you know, part of the benefits we're going to get from that thing. I'm not sure the whole trip up to $100,000. The president is coming back home, smiles all the way. $22.4 million, but that money will they raise na GPE, na Salu education they can't get now. We don't go US, yeah, for school feeding we get $25 million among several other things there.
Even with the justifications by the information minister, chairman of the National Grand Coalition NGC party proclaimed that unnecessary expenses by the ruling SLPP government is a contributing factor to crippling the country's economy and worsening of living conditions for ordinary citizens.
Your argument is that you've employed 5,000 teachers and so many nurses and things.
Right.
Okay. We have done some computations. I think we have one of the most bloated cabinets that you can find in any country that is struggling. All those people that you have there, it takes a lot of money to keep them there. Now that we are struggling, we shouldn't be opening new embassies. You know how much that costs. It's not just the travel of His Excellency and going to Dubai or whatever. I'm talking about this pattern of spending. Reckless spending. The government supported our team to go for friendly matches in 3 countries. Wonderful. And they sent 24 officials and 30 players, 54 people in that area. It's the same thing that goes with these delegations that go to these conferences. That's how the money goes.
Creation of multiple new positions since the current administration took over could be another possible reason for the nation's economy being overstretched. Salifuchero Kamara, AYV News in Freetown.
Now, the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center has kickstarted a regional policy workshop on the challenges, opportunities and best practices in building infrastructure for peace in West Africa. Now, the workshop, which is hosted in Sierra Leone, has been described as timely, especially when the security landscape of the region is currently challenged. And that's according to Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers, keynote speaker of the event. Our reporter Joseph Johnson witnessed the opening ceremony at Bintumani Hotel in Freetown, and he now reports.
This is not a regular workshop.
Quite a number of workshops have been talking shops. And at the KIPTC, we seek to create a space where we will confront the challenges that we face in a realistic manner.
And the efforts by Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center is aimed at bringing stakeholders in the region to reflect and building infrastructure for peace.
On our part, KIPTC will continue to support efforts towards building sustainable peace on our continent through pragmatic research and capacity building programs. More so, our policy engagements and advocacy efforts continue to shape policy formulation and implementation on conflict prevention.
This is a welcoming initiative according to Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, special advisor to the government of Sierra Leone.
The convening of this session is very timely. Timely because of what is even happening in the sub-region, and also because of Sierra Leone's past, which will have opportunity to reminisce about, hopefully, and maybe to be able to bring some of the experiences that we learned over the years.
Danish ambassador to Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Guinea, and Togo, Tom Noring, points out the need for participating countries to implement conflict prevention processes at international level.
Conflict and violence show little respect for borders. The participation of 5 different countries in the region in this workshop is therefore very, very valuable. At the same time, it is encouraging and promising to witness the engagement of the 5 represented countries in implementing conflict prevention structures on a national level.
The implementation of infrastructure for peace in the region is one ECOWAS has been making strides towards, and the representative of ECOWAS is optimistic about the outcome of the workshop.
It is therefore my expectation and the expectation of the Commission, and I'm sure it is yours, that within the next 2 days, this platform will give us the opportunity for collaborative and critical deliberation on national efforts towards the implementation of national infrastructure for peace in West Africa in response to these growing regional peace and security threats. I remain confident, looking at the area of experts and your commitment, that we will come up with important strategies.
Delivering the keynote address, former special representative of the Secretary General and head of United Nations Office for West Africa, Dr. Mohamed Chambers, pinpoints bad governance and endemic corruption, structural and gender-based inequalities as existing challenges in maintaining peace in the region.
Dear friends, in spite of the great strides made towards the consolidation of peace in West Africa, particularly through the early 1990s, the maintenance of peace and security in the sub-region remains a critical challenge. Peace building in contemporary times requires long-term commitment to establishing a well-resourced infrastructure across all levels of society, the state, and indeed the region.
And all these can be achieved through honesty.
This is not rocket science. This is about honesty, deliverability, and complying with the values that they have voluntarily signed on to.
Joseph Johnson, AYV News, Freetown.
Residents in mining communities have called for a transparent process in the implementation of the Community Development Agreement in mining communities to enable locals benefit from mining activities in their communities. Now, this was according to recommendations from the Africa Mining Benefits Assessment Report released by Oxfam together with Women in Mining and Extractives. Ronald Jomo-Ovia has more.
The African Mining Benefits Assessment is a framework of political economy analysis geared towards helping understand policies and mechanisms around how mining benefits reach mining-impacted communities. The assessment aims at supporting civil society organizations to positively influence the transfer and use of local mining benefits. Nuruddin is the influencing lead of Oxfam. He speaks on some of the findings and how it can be addressed.
There's an entrenched hierarchical system in terms of governance of these funds, which is more elitist. Those who can read and write are those who are in charge. Instead of the layman who is actually suffering the brunt of mining, a degradation of their land, agriculture is brought to standstill. There are a lot of social issues around communities for men and women and children. But because of this mining, the people should be seen taking their own development in their hands. But mostly it's left with those who can read and write. There's a disconnect between the bulk of the people and those who are managing some of these funds.
The 2009 Mines and Minerals Act made provision for monies from mining activities to go back to people within the mining communities with the introduction of the Diamond Area Community Development Fund, CDA-DF, among others. This, according to Executive Director for Women in Mining and Extractive, is why such reports should be given the attention it deserves.
I think it's benefiting for all of us, whether you are living in the mining communities or not, for us to talk about this money. Because if these people, they have lost everything, so that mining could take place, I think they have the right to benefit from mining proceeds.
Commenting on the report, the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources, Emmanuel Sandi, described the report as vital to their work and noted they will look into the findings and recommendations.
We are aware that when mining companies are implementing the CDA and the corporate social responsibilities, they want to dilute that function. As the ministry, we always be mindful of those things and we run after them with regulations. Like you heard from previous speakers, the ministry is currently busy reviewing the 2009 Mines Minerals Act. And in that act, there are a lot of improvements that will go towards the request made by the authors of the report that the citizens, the communities should benefit.
The overall objective of the report is to generate quality data and evidence for strong and influenced campaign and advocacy. Ronald Jumuruvia, AYV News, Freetown.
This is Primetime News on AYV Television and Radio. Stay tuned for more stories after this break.
Looking for a place to get quality education but don't know how or where? Canadian College of Modern Technology, situated at 1 Silicon Hills, Mile 91, opposite former Camp Charlie, is the right place for you. Canadian College of Modern Technology, an affiliate of Jala University, is a fully accredited college with a Tertiary Education Commission, TEC, and a National Commission for Technical, Vocational, Other Academic Awards, NCTVA. We provide world-class tertiary education in computer science, business administration, mass communication, business information technology, Microsoft Server Administration, networking, database administration, building and construction, and other professional courses. Apart from its conducive environment, which makes it suitable for learning, Canadian College of Modern Technology is proud of its experienced local and international staffs. Come and experience a transformational learning environment, fully equipped with CCTV cameras, a world-class electronic library with the latest iMac computers for collaborative learning and research, and access to high-speed internet service throughout the campus. And guess what? Canadian College of Modern Technology is the first college in Sierra Leone to operate the first educational purpose-only television and radio station for its mass communication students. Come and be part of this historic experience. We have reserved a space for you. You want to know more? CCMC provides 24 hours electricity from a solar harvest power supply system with a backup generator. This highly secure campus also have a canteen, students' hostels with clean pipe-borne water. Canadian College offers many more amenities for our students to help make learning a good experience. For more information, contact us on these numbers: 079-630-407 or 099-140-208. If you want to succeed, Canadian College will exceed your expectations. Canadian College of Modern Technology, a place where career begins.
All right, welcome back. I am Phoebe Nswil, and this is AYV's Primetime News. Now, the National Commission for Persons with Disability has presented a budget of over 9.3 billion loans for 2022 to undertake development projects in the coming year. This was done during the ongoing budget hearing for ministries and agencies at the Ministry of Finance. Mohamed Bakar Kamara has more.
Centers to refurbish them and then so that they can land trains that they can do. And then this year, what is new in these new deliverables? The Act mandates that we will have a development fund. We this year want to make an attempt, if we have the funding, to make sure that we establish that fund. The Act made very clear what it should be for, to empower people with disability in this country. Then also we enforce compliance with infrastructural accessibility legislation and policies.
That was Sir Lamin Kotokui, the Executive Secretary, National Commission for Persons with Disability, speaking on key deliverables for persons living with disability in the country for 2022. The 9.3 billion loans by National Commission for Persons with Disability will target life skill support, livelihood empowerment, and establishment of National Development Fund for persons living with disability in the country.
There is no vehicle at all. In fact, the vehicles we have, they are donated to us from other institutions. And these we are very old vehicles. They are not road running. They are all packed. In fact, we have initiated the process of boarding them so that we get rid of them. So it's a huge challenge. We don't have vehicles and not one or two officer vehicles in the commission. So we are appealing to government through the Ministry of Transport and Aviation to come to our aid as quick as supporting people with disability across the country with livelihood support, and then also do some media campaign for people with disability, and then the recurrent budget to run our offices, and then we are short staff, so we are asking them to increase our staff capacity. This is because in other regions, particularly like the new region, which is the Northwest, our presence is not there, so we need to have an office there. And then the other offices, the existing ones in the other 4 regions, we need staff to meet our capacities, and we need social workers that will go down to the various areas in order to be able to reach people with disability with our intervention.
Meanwhile, Minister of Social Welfare were to do their presentation today, but they were unable to present the necessary documents to the Minister of Finance Budget Committee, which makes the Minister of Finance Budget Committee turn them down and refer them to another date. For AYV News, I am Mohamed Bakar Kamara, reporting in Freetown.
The Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, through the Early Childhood Development and Primary Education Secretariat, has ended a settling in training for educators at their different early childhood development centers established across the country. The settling in training was to help these educators in implementing the Early Childhood Development Program. Ronald Joe Morovia has more.
Law number 4. Law number 1 say waiting.
A demonstration and a tour of the early childhood development centers. A total of 31 classrooms well equipped with the relevant facilities and environments to enhance the implementation of the early childhood development have been established by the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education in Pujen, Cambia, and Bombali. The 3-day settling-in training for educators is to get them familiar with the environment and what is expected of them to develop the child's cognitive and psychomotor.
The training is about settling in and also planning the work with the educators on how to go about with the work in the preschool, working with the daily schedule. Facilitators, they are really energetic. You can see the zeal in them, the anxiety to do the work. Just being introduced to the facility. They have various facilities around on the building that will try to orientate the children about.
But how has the 3-day settling in been for these educators, and what is expected of them? Some of them had this to say.
I learned a lot about how we learn the areas then. They put local materials for couch. They put the learning areas then, so the beginning will be developed.
Pikin they incorporate fine because some pikin they be the way they be the common house where they just can at this center here. They not be sabi nothing, but now we go tell what thinking. Some pikin they don't used to them confident, they don't social, so some pikin they know they share with them confident, but now we go tell what thinking. So pikin they back not be sabi nothing, but school business, but not a better.
Yeah, them in they cook potato leaf, them cut them potato leaf, them pick them fish, them peel the onion, them do everything, them pound them pepper, then they cook so then continue, even when we come for outside play, they still concentrate on them cooking.
With the help of these educators, it is believed that these early childhood development centers will help in developing the cognitive development of the child, while also enabling them identify their pathways. Ronald Jomorovia, AYV News, Freetown.
In Kenema, 4 people are reported dead in a room as a result of too much intake of carbon dioxide. Report suggests that the room is a business outlet and has no window or air passage when closed. The 4 reported deceased were locked inside whilst watching television from a generator source in the same shop at Kamara Town. Maurice Musa Koroma reports.
The regional headquarters town of the East was in total panic on Sunday after a message of 4 energetic young men who were struck dead in a shop blew out. As per police report, these 4, Lahai Brahma, aged 18, Abdullahi Lukule, 23, Emmanuel Mansari, 24, and Sheku Kone, 28 years old, were all discovered in the early hours of that fateful Sunday inside a closed room. Sources say it's a boutique situated on Dama Road, the main road linking Sierra Leone to Liberia from Kenema. The reports further disclosed that the men were watching television that was connected to a generator outside, but later decided to take the generator machine inside the shop to continue watching, but unfortunately they got their death through the excess intake of the carbon monoxide that was polluting in this airless basement by the machine.
Since the situation was so chaotic and alarming, the first step we took was to remove the corpse from the crime scene to the mortuary for autopsy. At the crime scene, we discovered an Astral yellow generator wherein the ignite switch was on, indicating that the generator was lighted in the building where these 4 people died.
This woman claimed being the mother of 3 of those deceased persons.
This morning I don't grab, I don't pray. See now, they got this mess that they not beside this tomato. Lahai, nobody know the answer. Now just for the prayer matter, I come out of that. We say no nothing. Now say let the cow that unfortunately I mixed the body.
However, the pathologist who conducted autopsy to ascertain the cause of this strange occurrence was unavoidably not rich for useful information. But this has sparked fears in the people and many remain surprised. AYV News, Maurice Musa Koroma reporting from Kenema, Eastern Sierra Leone.
Convent Old Girls Association has celebrated 59th Foundation Day of St. Joseph's Secondary School in Makeni. This, according to the association, is to help motivate old and present pupils of their school. Abubakar Kamara reports.
Alumni associations across Sierra Leone are contributing to the development of their alma maters. During Foundation Days, short associations are actively involved to motivate, inspire, or pledge commitment to give back. At St. Joseph Secondary School, Makeni clocks 59. Both present and old pupils, as well as the school administration, converge to celebrate this historic day. Convent Old Girls Association participated fully in this celebration.
As the school song goes, we were sewn in here. Today is a national benefit, so we want to give back to the pupils. So that is why we think we should be here give motivation to the peoples, and other ones will copy. It's not only to the peoples, mind you, the impact will not only go to the people, as well as the parents and the McKinney community. Because today when we were coming, everybody was like anxious to know what's happening. Oh, the Kogam old girls are here. Kogam is here. Kogam is here. They are creating an impact. Because when the daughter goes home today and show the parent the award, it motivates the parents. Even if he or she doesn't want her daughter to attend the school, will be motivated to say, you know what, that school, they have old girls settled that can actually motivate my girl to do more, that can serve as role models, that can mentor my girl child to be a better person.
As part of the celebration, prizes were given to deserving peoples for exemplary work. AY Regional News, I am Abubakar Kamara from Makeni.
And now in sports, Ministry of Sports has presented a total amount of 5,674,100,000 leones as budget for 2020-2024 at the ongoing budget hearing at the ministry. Our sports reporter, Michael John Fofana, has more.
Prior to the ongoing budget hearing, the Ministry of Sports has today presented the Sports for Job Creation and National Development Strategic Plan budget for 2022 to 2024. While giving his statement, the Permanent Secretary Sos Al-Ghali said the total amount of budget is 5,674,100,000 leones.
And some of the activities of the ministry were transferred to them. Capacity of the staff was strengthened through workshops, seminars, and in-house training. And government was able to sign an MOU with the People's Republic of China, government of the People's Republic of China, for the rehabilitation and renovation of the National Stadium and its ancillary facilities. Challenges as usual. The budget approved was lower than the budget submitted. Only 40% of the budget was approved. Thus, there were challenges to implement activities that were initially planned.
He furthered that this money would be used for projects he outlined for 2022 to 2024.
That has been the case since 2020, and when I assumed the office, I tried to revive it and was advised by the powerhouse, the Ministry of Finance, that we deferred it to 2022. So, Mr. Chairman, that is going to be our first request for 2022 going forward. Logistics, insufficient vehicles for implementation of the ministry's activities. Also, insufficient and inadequate working tools.
Michael John Fofana, AYV Sports in Freetown.
Well, that's the end of Primetime News for tonight. For more stories, visit our website on www.ayvnews.com. If you have any comments on the news bulletin, please send us an email to info@ayvnews.com. I am Phoebian Swill. Thanks for watching and listening. Have a good night. Stay safe. Cheers.
You're watching AYV Television.
Are you building a house or a shop or an office? Are you looking for the best solution to do it quickly and economically? Not sure of the design or what materials to use? Look no further. Your worries are over. Using Colat Brick will save you time and money. Colat Brick is cheaper, stronger, faster, and definitely more efficient with a 30-year proven record in Africa. Go for the new standard. Use Colat Bricks. With Colat Bricks, you need no mortar, no columns, no plastering, saving your time, money, and energy. Colat Bricks are suitable for all types of buildings, ranging from residential dwellings, compound walls, schools and colleges, warehouse and offices, places of worship and community centers, clinics, shops, so on and so forth. So, why wait? Colat Brick, the best way to build quick.
You dey build house and they look for the best way for do am quick? No worry for search again because you yagba don Colat block where Colat brick they make strong and they last long. E not tap de o, na so them block them cheap and go fit you pockets. Colat block gets boku quality. Colat block get 30-year good inside Africa and na so it quick for use for build house and make house snap strong and look chen. You can use Colat block for build all kind house like one flat, story building, school, university, hotel, community center, government building, and many more. You no need for worry about plaster where you dey build with Colat block because the kind way the machine take make the block fine go make you left the block natural one so. Make it so, wetin you dey wait for? Colat brick, the sober way for build quick.
In Sierra Leone, filmmaking is our way of life. It brings joy and happiness. It inspires hope and belief. It brings love and life. It's our voice and power. We are stronger together with unity and one industry. Sierra Leone is home. NFA is glory. NFA Awards, celebrating excellence in film.
A beach on. Can I do that?
Well, I don't know because today I get for cool people and I did bafa. So I don't know if one can go there.
Chicken or fall?
No, fall not there. Okay. Don't say that now it's in the morning.
You said you got small fish.
No, say for two they get a market, the brother. And then I manage my work for the manager yourself for.
How much that?
It's now 5,000. You go take the water. Eh, no, it is good. Eh, look water. Can't take water now. Would I get it? Would I get it the way I want it?
I want to go.
Eh? How much else you want? Today, me picking already help me. No one know the name myself. They are me brother. They wanna help me. Oh, Bus, I get cassava leaf. I get beach. Which one? Eh, no worry, no more. No say you know me because I make a fine for you. No worry, no more. Yeah. Yeah, the spoon. You go take what I under now.
This spoon. Some me know.
Because I know, but your patience is small. Yeah, babe. Whether me party then I have. Then me school party there. There's something the person not there for them. Yeah. When you want guys come back.
Give me 5,000 guys for now.
Well, I get cassava leaf now. I get beach.
That's not me. Do I put some for me fine?
Well, no worry, boy. Don't say me now. You know me. Oh, go manager. You don't say the rest of us. You see, I got for make us small. No more for it. Would I not get water when you need water? Now we. Okay. Hey, you can't serve people the water.
Mami, do water po?
Yeah. Yes. It's away, Palace. Don't know that. Because I meant to pop back again. Yeah, but me ada. Say because I mean they really enjoy me plus. Papa, sin I don't know more. You can't have this cookery bafa. You can't fetch person. You don't know separate thing and maxi.
I want broke this. I'm today. It's the only man them do come from my name.
Because I mean they buy you. Hey, I need to say kind inside your house. Don't touch your eyes. Don't touch your mouth. Don't touch your ears. Don't touch your nose. Don't touch your eyes. Get stand one and they can't you say go and dress me. No can quit say. That makes sense, radio.
How you do or how you body?
Say go thank you.
What you get so today?
Well today I get Pamain cassava leaf alokanda. I get also again beans. Ebo customer babu can. I dey talk you dey go. You know they eat today.
Today okay, I'm beg food.
But they are I beg. You know say na me best customer now. Not to better till if he said the rubber again no.
Now all the make corona they scatter na this country as.
How?
Government don't tell we say all business places, including this place here so. Forget Veronica bucket, clean water, soap, and sanitizer there. So when anybody come by, it go wash it and very clean before it can sit down. But look at people and shock themselves like sardine a pan. Me, for this cinema I don't see. When the place choke like sardine, nobody know where face masks. They all see know they watch you. And pits they come on and they watch they talk.
Sister, what are you come for?
And then I go eat some mommy balu. Tomorrow we go all which I don't tell you so I go can't eat, yeah?
Okay,
How go to eat? Wear face masks. Is that possible? Oh man, go.
Ready for it. You dey bring the face mask can down. When you don't eat done, you bring them back can up.
Oh, just clear out. I go talk like offensive statements then they some of them now keep talking about for talk's sake.
Go.
Corona is real.
Oh, where do you go? I tell you, my lovely, where do you go?
Hey, I beg, I don't mix. I beg you.
What's up, my sister? Why you vex so?
I go to Auntie Saleh for go eat. The way I meet people pack they like siding. I don't even get appetite for itself. And I see they all know where face mask.
You like to? I don't believe say you angry, self.
Where your face mask so that make you talk?
Me face mask? Hey, look at it in my pocket. Look at na my pocket today.
Serious.
We don't understand self. They say face mask. Some man they put on in neck. Some man they put on in nose. Some man they even put on in chin. And look you don't take your face mask put on your pocket. And you know say you not role model in this country where everybody they look up to. The face mask not there for protect your pocket. And there for protect your nose and your mouth.
Me I don't believe say corona dey o. Na like business and money making. So need not dey follow me wear face masks. Don't you self know say face mask not dey protect you for long coronavirus.
Then you they argue back.
Brother, I dey tell you, corona na reality. Corona medicine no dey for am. And it dey kill. Corona no one know if you big or you small. Corona no one know if you rich or you poor. If you have disability or no disability. When you get contact with get corona, you say get the virus.
Well, now that's make you for wear your face mask where you dey go na public places. And even put on where you dey talk to people then. And make sure say you not near people the way they don't wear face masks. Because if they cough or they sneeze, breeze they come go. And if you get in contact with them, you self go get the sickness. But if possible get the sickness wearing face masks, or you wear your face mask, you not go get in contact with the sickness if you cough or in sneeze.
Thank you, my sister. I not be know, but now that you don't tell me, I go to always put my face mask on whenever I dey go who say people and they, or where I dey talk to people then.
Thank you, my brother. Now when you don't put on your face mask, you don't protect me and yourself.
Thank you, my sister. We go meet up tomorrow to Jacko. Now harvest. Now where they go so? Where do you go? My love.
Still I'm in love, not for season right.
Hands up for girls now. You better hands up for girls now. You better hands up for girls now. I mean it, I want you.
I don't like this somebody, more than, cause you know say corona they right now. Stop am. I know when this you touching body, sister, cause you know say corona they right now. Stop am.
Wash your hands now. Wear your face mask. Avoid crowd now. Stay at home now. Don't touch your ears. Don't.
It's the one, yeah. Sarah Rogers, it's the one. Super fresh, natural, nurturing, just in a shot, yeah. Sarah Rogers, Sierra.